This is a video for you who is having that kind of feeling that something is not really right in your life. Maybe you have just a slight feeling that something is not in its place, or you have a strong feeling that something is definitely not right. And the tendency in this kind of situation is to go and search for what is wrong. And if you take a look at our life, and logically we cannot really find a reason for what may be wrong, the tendency, it goes naturally to look to ourselves. And the question becomes like, what is wrong about me? My life looks really good. I have a good job. I have a nice, loving family or friends or relationships in my life. Everything looks quite good. What's the reason of not feeling good? Why don't I feel good with myself in this reality? Or we go the other way around and we try to find wrongs in our reality. We start criticizing and judging our reality, like something is wrong about it, and this justifies our feeling of not feeling good with ourselves. And this kind of construction and game of right and wrong, it's a natural way for our minds to keep us safe. Because our mind will look continuously for how to create a safe space for us to be, how to be in security in our realities. But there is not where we're going to find our solution. In this situation, when we do not really feel good with our life as it is, which felt good, maybe for the whole of our life or for a long period of time, what's obvious for me is that our value system has changed. What we have valued, what has been important for us in our life, it's not as important as it was yesterday or a few years ago. And suddenly that reality that we have created from that place, it's not fulfilling anymore. Our belief system has changed. Something has changed inside us. And the question is not about what is right and wrong. It's not about what is good or bad. It's about what's important for me. What is my value and my truth today, which I'm not really living in my life. And in order to acknowledge that and to become aware of what is this change that has happened inside of you, we need to take a step back from our reality. And it may be enough just to take one day out in nature to just relax with yourself, to be away from your life as it looks right now, from the relationships that you have, and just to give yourself that space and the distance to acknowledge what is important for you, what is more of value today that it's not lived in your life, that does not really have space. Or you may need to have a little longer distance from your life as it looks. Take a weekend off somewhere else, in another place, in another city, with another environment, with other people, and go into this kind of contemplation. And also, like, what I find it very helpful is to have this kind of recapitulation, just looking at your life and taking it step for step and see what kind of behavior, activities, or what am I doing, how I'm living right now, how I'm behaving. It's not really giving me satisfaction. It's not fulfilling. I'm not really enjoying myself. And what pulls you? What will be enjoyable? Those moments that you have maybe experienced here and now, and you would like to have more of. And contemplate of how you can bring this more of into your life. How can you create that space for this new value, for this new truth to be part of your life. And this may take just a small, slighter change in your life or a bigger change. And you can create a life that you can feel more fulfillment. Because when we have changed our value system, when we have changed our belief system, and our life is not fulfilling anymore, the only one who can create a life of fulfillment is ourselves, by bringing it in, acknowledging it, and creating it in our lives. And I will give you an example from my own life of this kind of situation. 16 years ago, I did this pilgrimage in Spain. Maybe you heard about Camino de Santiago. And after walking 800 kilometers in Spain, I returned to Sweden and my whole life felt totally wrong. My work situation, my social life, all the relationships that I had, my living situation. And basically there was nothing wrong about that because I had a beautiful job. I had really beautiful people in my life. I was in a very good place in my life and situation in my life. There was no reason for me to feel wrong, not to feel good with what it was. But that feeling was so persistent. And at that time, I didn't really know how to deal with it. And I made it everything wrong. This is the way that I was talking about it. Like my whole life was wrong. and I started walking. I was walking with this question, what to do? And intuitively, I got this kind of feeling like taking the distance from my life as it looked to find that which I wanted to have it in my life, but I could not really point it out by living in the same kind of environment. So my way of dealing with it at that time was to sell everything, to quit my job, to quit all my relationships, and I left for traveling. I went for traveling a whole year in Southeast Asia, and in that traveling I discovered that what has been growing inside of me in that pilgrimage in Spain was a value of having my spiritual expression, my spiritual side included in my everyday life, which was not. And I was kind of hiding it. It was not really part of my life, and no one was knowing that I am walking a spiritual path, and personal and spiritual development was an important part for me. So after traveling this 1 year, I kind of created that space in my life. Their spirituality became a natural part of my life. And coming back to Sweden afterwards, I started to create a life there. My environment, my relationships, my way of living could be actualized this value and this part of me which was so important. So whatever that value is for you, and whatever is important for you that you are not living today, it is important for us to acknowledge it and to create it, to bring ourselves into that place of well-being. Because at the end of the day, this is all that we desire, to feel good about ourselves, to feel good with our lives, to feel fulfilled from inside out. And the good thing about it is that we can create it in every moment, no matter what our circumstances are, where we are living and what we are doing. There is always a way of creating that reality there. We have space, and we give ourselves space to be who we truly are. I hope this was an inspiring video for you, and if so, please give a like to this video. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again.